තමගේ ජන බලවේගය නායකත්වයේ දෙනවා පමණක් නෙවෙයි මේ රටේ පොදු ජනයාගේ ජීවිත සුරකින්නට අපි අපේ ජීවිත උනත් පරිත්‍යාග කරන්නට ලෑස්ති කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න කැමතියි.
Sri Lankan refugees living in India will receive dual citizenship, an election pledge from the AIDMK party affiliated to the BJP in Tamil Nadu, India. Police interrogates the Sirasa Lakshapati contestant who made a statement about the Singharaja Forest Reserve during the show. Professor Nalin De Silva to resign from his position as the Sri Lankan ambassador to Myanmar.
Do your online shopping now with Bulletin.lk to get it home delivered or pick up on your way.
Bulletin.lk.
Main sponsor.
LG OLED TV. Color that goes beyond clarity.
In your top story tonight, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has reiterated the government has already identified the challenges faced by the apparel industry at present, and it is committed towards resolving those issues while uplifting the standards of the industry. He added that the process would be initiated through a comprehensive plan.
The President made these remarks while attending a discussion with the representatives of the Joint Apparel Associations Forum held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. Speaking at the discussion, representatives of the forum pointed out to the President a great quantity of foreign exchange which is currently much desired in the country could be generated by sparking a revival in the local apparel sector. It was also revealed during the discussion that the apparel industry expects to generate a total revenue of $5.1 billion this year, while commending the government's assistance in achieving its aims. Those present at the discussion had also apprised the President of the hindrances faced by the apparel sector as a result of the rigid public health guidelines that are currently in effect. Moreover, a request was put forth by them to relax certain health guidelines which would eliminate certain obstacles for the apparel industry without compromising overall public health. Drawing his attention towards the lack of human resources in the apparel sector, the President has said the creation of employment opportunities that are both secure and of high quality could fill the lacuna in the manpower front of the apparel sector and would also attract young job seekers.
Main sponsor.
LG OLED TV. Color that goes beyond clarity.
Do your online shopping now with Bulletin.lk to get it home delivered or pick up on your way.
Bulletin.lk.
While Indian Minister of External Affairs Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar has revealed the Indian Prime Minister has envisioned a long-term plan with regards to Sri Lanka, attending a TV discussion in India.
Two important pillars of our relationship. One, of course, is the bilateral pillar, which is what happens between us, meaning the governments of India and Sri Lanka, and some of what you have spoken about is in that domain. Then there is the the issue of the ethnic issue and the interest that India has had, and that's been a long-standing issue as well. Your question mainly focuses on the first, though there are obviously concerns on the second as well. Now, on that, what I want to say is there was an intergovernmental agreement between India, Sri Lanka and Japan, okay, on the East Container Terminal. Then the Sri Lankan government told us that they want to shift to an investor-driven model, which is they want to approach investors.
Elections are set to take place on the 6th of April in a number of states in India, including Tamil Nadu. The incumbent government of the BJP has extended its support towards the AIADMK party, led by current Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, at this year's Tamil Nadu election. The AIADMK, through its manifesto, has assured to award dual citizenship to Sri Lankan refugees in Tamil Nadu. This assurance has been given against a backdrop where the Chief Minister of Tripura has revealed of a plan by the BJP to extend its political reach to Sri Lanka. With the enforcement of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, dual citizens are now allowed to contest in Sri Lanka's elections.
It was revealed at a press briefing held on the coast of Unawatuna that a similar level of environmental destruction happening on land is taking place in the oceans as well. The press briefing organized by the Divers Centre affiliated with the All Ceylon Public Fisheries Confederation.
Though the environmental destruction happening on land is visible, the damage caused to the ocean at the bottom of the sea cannot be observed. As divers, only we are able to see it. When you collect 1 ton of sand for the Port City project, 2 tons of sand is eroded. Because the sand is being gathered from this area, the seabed is gradually sloping in for about 15 kilometers. Because of this, the coral reef has been completely damaged. Valuable species of corals such as bulb anemone and sea anemone have been wiped out. The coral bed looks like a graveyard. Development of corals happen over a span of 1,000 to millions of years. They cannot be recovered. Rulers must make decisions while paying attention to these matters. The Bona Vista coral reef located in Unawatuna, where we are in right now, has also been destroyed.
Jagat Preeti Kumara explained the experience he gains daily as a diver.
I've been doing this job for 30 years. Every day I'm engaged in my job. I spend more than 4 hours underwater. So we can feel small changes happening to the ocean. As of now, the coral reef that was about 6 to 7 feet tall has been covered 4 to 5 feet. The coral system has been covered by tons of sand that have been pumped. This is the fate that has befallen the Mangala Oya that flows through Mangalagama in Ampara. According to the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau Regional Office in Batticaloa, 42 permits have been issued for sand mining in the area. As a result of the haphazard sand mining taking place on either side of the Mangala Oya, there is also a threat to the flora in the area. Our correspondent said that the erosion taking place in the bank of the Mangala Oya has exacerbated due to the recent rainfall. Can such activities occur merely since permits have been issued to do so? Whose responsibility is it to monitor these incidents? Who should be held accountable?
The land area which was cleared in the Galvalaya area in the Rambakanoa Reserve has now become a barren land. The businessmen who were initially eyeing for the land have decided to move out amidst the heavy opposition from the public.
මා මේ මොහොතම විතර රැඳී සිටින්නේ රඹකැන්නෝයේ ඉහත්තාවේ. ගම්මු මේ ප්‍රදේශයට කියන්නේ බුරුතන් යාය කියලා.
This is Ihattava in Ramakan Oya. The villagers call this area Burutan Yaya. The people who cleared the forest did it here first. Now what remains is a barren land.
අපිට ඉතුරු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මුඩු බිමක් විතරයි.
අපි අහනවා බලධාරීන්ගෙන් සියලුම ආයතන වලින් අපි අහනවා මේ පරිසරය මේ විදිහට විනාශ කරපු පුද්ගලයන්ට දඬුවම් දෙනවද? කවද්ද මිනිස්සුන්ට මේකේ දඬුවම ලබා දෙන්නේ? කවද්ද මේ තිබුණු පරිසරය මේ අවට තියෙන පරිසරය වගේ මේකේ පරිසරයක් නිර්මාණය කරන්නේ කවුද?
අනේ මේකේ තනිකර කැලේ තිබ්බේ. කැලේ සම්පූර්ණ දැන් විනාශ කරලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් සත්තු හිටපි කැලේ තමයි මේක. දැන් සත්තු ටික මේ අලීම ගම්මාන ගිහාට තමයි යන්නේ. දැන් සත්තුන්ටවත් ඉන්න තැනක් නැහැ.
The area residents claim that the adjacent villages, Galvalaya, Pollebadda and Neelamba, are facing the risk of wild elephants. The protest launched by the farmers of the Valsapugala area demanding that the proposed wild elephant reserve be gazetted with the land area that was originally allocated for it is continuing for the 58th day today.
Do not attempt to deceive us. Do not make this a situation where the land that is allocated for the Elephant Management Reserve is distributed among confidants of the politicians according to their whims and fancies. The animals living here are lost. Protect the rights of these animals. If not, the Left Bank Joint Farmers Organization, along with the farmers of the entire country, will teach those who govern the country an unforgettable lesson. That is the message we have to deliver.
පාඩමක් ඉගැන්වීමට කටයුතු කරනවා පෙළ ගැසෙනවායි කියන පණිවිඩය අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ලබා දෙනවා.
Meanwhile, several incidents of assault on people educating the public about environmental destruction have been reported. A person who had revealed information regarding the clearing of government lands in Dambulla Vavala, Sigrimulla and Alakola Vava areas had been assaulted by a group in this manner.
මාධ්‍යයට කරුණු දුන්නලු පොලිසියට කරුණු ඉදිරිපත් කළාලු කියලා තමයි මම මරනවා කියලා මේ තර්ජනය කර මට ගහන්නේ. දැන් ඉස්පිතාලේ තෝ ඕන පුළුවන් නම් පොලිසියට බැයි නම් ඕන තැනකට ගිහින් ආපු ගමන් තෝ මරනවා කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ.
We are constantly in fear. If they get drunk and come in the night with poles, we have no one for our safety. It's just me and my daughter. We have no one else. When the truth is revealed, it is a lie that reigns supreme. Politicians and businessmen are well connected, yet a poor man is left alone with no power whatsoever. He becomes isolated in his village and he cannot even walk on the roads. His rights are snatched away from him and he becomes helpless. Truthfully speaking, my father is a heart patient. We cannot go in a vehicle on the street and we cannot stay in the village. We cannot go to the farm and we cannot even look after our livestock.
The police stated that the individual who was allegedly assaulted has been admitted to the Matale hospital and is currently undergoing treatment.
Yesterday, the police had questioned the contestant who joined the Lakshapati reality show on Sirasa regarding the statements she made about the destruction caused to the Singaraja rainforest.
ඒක තමයි මේවා කියලා අපේ ගමට යන්න හම්බෙයි කියලා මේ කල්පනා කරේ.
ඔව් නේ. මොකක්ද ඇත්තට වෙන්නේ?
ඒක තමයි එයා කියන ඒවා ඉතින් ඔක දැන් මේ
අවශ්‍ය නැති ඒවා නේ.
ඒක තමයි අපිට යන්න ගමේ ඉන්න වේද දන්නේ.
ඔව් අපි නිකන් අතපය බැඳගෙන හිටියානම් හරි නැද්ද? මේ එකක් කරගන්න ඇරලා කැලේ බැරනම් අලි බැරනම් නේ.
තනි සටනක් ගෙනියන්න බෑ නේද?
We can't conduct a lone fight against this. The environment is being destroyed. Animals are left homeless. Who can we grieve to about this? What can we do? We also turn a blind eye to this.
ඊයේ දිනේදී මගේ ගෙදරට හවස 4:05 අතර වගේ කාල පරාසය තුල පොලිස් නිලධාරීන් දෙදෙනෙක් එනවා.
Yesterday, 2 police officers came to my house between 4:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. last evening. They questioned me if I know whether this land is state-owned or privately owned. I am not aware of the official ownership of the land. They also asked me if I have any knowledge of the owners of the land and any other related information. Then I said they are cutting down trees to build a hotel. Especially the construction of this hotel poses a great threat to the 2 protected elephants that migrate to this forest, destroying the migratory zone they used to inhabit. Although I made that statement, I am not aware if this is a government property or private property. Nevertheless, the construction of the hotel began very recently. Now there's a publicity that a hotel is not being built here, but 2 houses for area residents. However, this is being established as an elephant movement corridor, but this environmental destruction is happening right in front of that board. I have to state that I was not influenced by any political party or any external force to say this. I said the things that I see every day. I spoke on behalf of the 2 elephants that have made this area their home. I raised my voice for the extremely rare and priceless trees and plants that have been wiped out and the innocent animals living in this area who are forced out of their homes. The village residents told us that they too have been questioned regarding the occupation of my father and brother along with other details of our family. I can say with confidence that my father and my brother are in no way connected to people who cause environmental destruction. My family has never benefited from mining gems, mining sand, or even harming a leaf on a tree. But we are still being investigated in this regard. The deeds of our lands are being discussed on social media at length. We have requested President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to give us deeds for our lands through this program. We are expecting that to be granted. People on social media are claiming that we should leave our houses because of this. We have to confidently state that we have not made a house destroying the homes of innocent animals and harming the environment in the process. We have to state that all these claims made against us are false.
සතුන්ගේ නිවහනට හානි කරමින් අපි නිවහනක් මං නිවහනක් හදාගෙන නැහැ. ඉතින් වගකීමකින් කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ හැමදේම අසත්‍යයි කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්.
Police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana said an investigation into this matter is currently taking place under the supervision of the senior superintendent of police in charge of Ratnapura. Meanwhile, the police spokesperson also said investigations into other forms of environmental destruction publicized on social media are also expected to commence.
That child only expressed what she witnessed firsthand when she was given the opportunity through the media to do so. It's a statement which requires international attention. Those who are against it are influencing the police to record statements from the child, questioning her as to who influenced her to say it. On one hand, the child has been put through severe mental duress and has been blamed for her statement. This is a disgraceful act. We never expected this. The Crudia selenica tree is unhurt today because of the mass public outcry spurred by the media. The tree was preserved and even ordained because of the statement Devani made. She was later called for an inquiry. People like us were called to the CID for inquiries.
ඒ පිළිබඳව හඬ නැගූ අපිට CID එක දාලා බලපෑම් කරන්න බලපෑම් කිරීම කටයුතු සිද්ධ කරනවා.
මේ සහ වේගෙන් ඒ දරුවගෙන් කට උත්තර ගන්න යන පොලිසිය.
The police, which turns a blind eye towards mass environmental degradation, is swift to record statements from this child. The president and the government must immediately apologize to the child. Who ordered the police to do this? Which minister? Who is the Minister of Defence? Has the Defence Secretary apologized and looked into the accuracy of these claims? Who is constructing hotels? Who is clearing roads? Who is felling trees? Look into those. A massive protest has been organized on the 20th against the environmental destruction in Rumasala, Gaul. A person named Saranga is currently receiving treatment at the Karapiti hospital following an assault because his brother, who is overseas, is sharing a chain message about this protest on social media. Instead of eliminating destruction, the government is targeting those who are revealing details of mass destruction. Where are the people who defended them? Where are those so-called intellectuals?
පොලිසිය යැවීමත් සාරංගට පහර දීමත් මේ සියල්ල තුල අපි දකින්නේ ආණ්ඩුව හැරිලා තියෙනවා මේ වෙන මහා දැවැන්ත විනාශය නතර කරනවා වෙනුවට ඒ විනාශය රටට කියන අය මර්ධනය කිරීම සඳහා.
Following inquiries by Newsfirst, the Central Environment Authority conceded that Cabinet has in fact decided to claim the area in question mentioned by the contestant as Sirashalakshapati to the Singharaja Reserve. According to revelations by the CEA, the Cabinet decision in this regard had been made in 2004. However, the demarcation process had been halted on a provincial level. That authority is not vested with the CEA. The CEA has supported the discussion to take over the land. The preliminary discussions regarding the matter is in its latter stages.
අපේ මූලික සාකච්ඡා අවසන් වටේ දැන තියෙන්නේ ඒක මැතිතුමා මගෙන් නෙමෙයි අහන්න ඕනේ.
That is not something I should be answering. Ask the cabinet of ministers about the delay.
ඒලට කැබිනට් එක කැබිනට් ඇමතිවරුන් අහනවා ඇයි මේවා ප්‍රමාණද කියලා.
A state institution must be held responsible along with businessmen and the entire populace.
මුළු රටම වගේ කියන්න ඕනේ මේකට. මම කියන්නේ ඉක්මන් වුණා නම් මේක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි
it would not have happened. It is being expedited now.
වැඩේ වුණාට පස්සේ සමහර ඒවා ඔය සමහර කියලා තියෙනවා තකුල ගන්න වෙයි.
According to the chairman of the CEA, the area mentioned by the contestant also falls under the area which cabinet approval was granted in 2004 to be taken over. The director of the CEA for the Sabaragamu province provided details of the dimensions of the controversial land while addressing the media. 7 acres, 3 routes, 25.32 purchases is the size of the land. We are inquiring into the constructions taking place on it. The requirement of obtaining an environment feasibility report prior to commencing any sort of construction on a land larger than 1 hectare is commonly known protocol, even agreed by the director of the CEA. Exactly. Permission has been granted on a regional level to construct houses there. If it's the Pradesh Sabha that gives permission, it should notify landowners to obtain that report. I went there personally and inspected the location. The only environmental impact of constructing houses in the area is erosion of land.
නිරීක්ෂණය කරා. ඒ ඔය කියන ඉඩම් වල ගෙවල් හදන එකට අදාළව ඒ පරිසරය සම්බන්ධයෙන් ගැටලුවක් තියෙන්නේ සෝදාපාලුව සම්බන්ධයෙන් තමයි.
SCFR 141 ඇරේරක් 2015 කියන චුන්නාකම් නඩුකරේදී
in the court case of Chunnakam SCFR 141/2015, Supreme Court has given a clear decision. The Supreme Court has said that an environmental destruction estimation can be only carried out when considering destructive actions that has taken place as a whole. there is no possibility to consider them as separate incidents. Even though humans have separated these acts of destruction, you have to consider it as the destruction of one ecosystem.
එක පද්ධතියක් හැටියට තමයි සලකා බැලිය යුත්තේ.
Still in local news, convening a media briefing, Member of Parliament Dr. Harsha De Silva responded to the Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, who said that a sugar scam did not take place.
The government in July said that the tax imposed on a kilogram of sugar will be increased from 33 to 50 rupees to develop the domestic sugar production. That was announced as the policy of the government. A government policy cannot change overnight. However, by October, the policy taken in July was amended. The tax increase from 33 rupees to 50 rupees intended to benefit domestic producers was reduced from 50 rupees to 25 cents by October. According to this report released by the Ministry of Finance, the Pyramid Wilma company had held a small market percentage. It was about 5%. This company, as per what we have heard, has changed the course of a ship carrying sugar and sent it to Sri Lanka. It was after 20 years that sugar was imported into the country on a ship. There were huge amounts of sugar that was imported by this company. They paid the 25-cent tax and released the sugar. Additionally, the company has had about 8,500 metric tons of sugar in bonded warehouses. As per the information we have received, they have paid the 25-cent tax for this and cleared that stock as well. The people who had imported sugar and cleared their stocks by paying taxes at 50 rupees outside the bonded warehouses have had about 80,000 metric tons of sugar stocks. And this person has had only a small amount of sugar that was cleared at the 50 rupee tax compared to the other exporters. This businessman was able to pay the 25-cent tax and clear a kilogram of sugar at a value less than 80 rupees and sell a kilogram of sugar at 120 rupees in the market rather than selling it at the 85 rupee ceiling price. Our question is this: if the government decided to reduce the taxes on sugar for the second time to provide the benefit to the people, if the ceiling price for sugar was set at 85 rupees to provide the benefit to the people, and if the government is claiming that the treasury didn't receive the 5.9 billion rupees it should have received as tax revenue, and if it didn't benefit the people as well, where did this money go? That is the question. When it comes to internal information being circulated in a secretive manner and making the government incur losses, the sugar scam and the central bank bond scam have its fair share of similarities.
Obtaining internal information.
It was revealed that the former governor of the central bank, Arjuna Mahendran, provided valuable internal information to Perpetual Treasuries Limited, owned by his son-in-law, before a bond auction. The Presidential Commission that investigated the central bank bond scam was able to uncover that sensitive information such as the number of bonds that will be issued and details of bids made by other buyers had been shared in this manner.
What happened during the sugar scam?
The import tax on sugar that was at 50 rupees on the 14th of October 2020 was reduced to 25 cents. With that reduction, Pyramid Wilma Company alone had imported 125,000 metric tons of sugar until the 20th of February this year. During this time period, 67 companies had imported sugar into the country, and the Pyramid Wilma Company alone had imported 40% of the total bulk of sugar from overseas. Against such a backdrop, where 66 other companies are there to import sugar to the country, isn't it suspicious that the import tax on sugar was reduced so that a single importer could bring down sugar to Sri Lanka? Isn't this incident where valuable internal information has been revealed for the benefit of an outside entity similar to the central bank bond scam?
Incurring losses to the general public once again.
The central bank bond scam defrauded more than 8 billion rupees from the Employees Provident Fund. The Perpetual Treasuries Limited purchased a higher number of bonds at low interest from the primary market and sold a portion of it for a higher interest at the secondary market. The Perpetual Treasuries Limited managed to earn a profit by incurring huge losses to the Employees Provident Fund. More than 2,000 metric tons of sugar that was imported by Pyramid Wilma had been sold between 125 rupees and 127 rupees a kilogram to Satosa. Satosa sold the sugar to the people of Sri Lanka at 85 rupees a kilogram. Didn't the general public incur a loss twice in this instance? Satosa purchased sugar for a higher price and sold it to the people for a reduced price. When considering providing internal information and incurring losses to the general public of the country, many similarities can be seen between the sugar scam and the central bank bond scam.
Whitewashing the incident.
Prime Minister at the time, Ranil Wickremesinghe, was adamant that a bond scam had not taken place and that then Governor of the Central Bank, Arjuna Mahendran, changed the method of issuing bonds based on his instructions. Ranil Wickremesinghe's decisions to appoint the Pitipana Committee and the footnote gang on the COPE report deviated the investigation process. Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, S.R. Artikala, claimed that a sugar scam had not taken place, convening a media briefing recently. He said that only tax has been reduced to grant benefits to the people. As a result of all of this, finally, it is the common people of our country, you and I, who are burdened by these.
We report, you decide.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's ambassador to Myanmar, Professor Nalin De Silva, said he has decided to step down from his position. Professor Nalin De Silva said, however, he hopes to remain in office until the fisheries issue is resolved and the BIMSTEC meeting of foreign ministers is held. He has posted a statement clarifying the reasons for his decision on his personal Facebook page. According to his Facebook status update, he says he feels he is an inefficient, incompetent and unsuccessful ambassador and that he has no unofficial ties to Myanmar. Also in another headline-making story, the first-year anniversary celebrations of the Samagi Jana Balavegaya was held at the Hyde Park Corner in Colombo today.
The event was held under the patronage of opposition leader and the leader of the Samagi Jana Balavegaya, Sajith Premadasa.
උන්ති Facebook එකේ පණිවිඩයක් දැක්කා. ඉස්සර ගෙදර සීනි කෑවම අපිට මතක් වෙන්නේ කාවද? එක්ක කූඹියෝ.
I recently saw a post on Facebook. When you talk about sugar, you would remember Andre or Ans, but now you would remember Nandasena Gotabaya Rajapaksa. What has happened now? Sir came to protect the country, but now the entire country has to get together to protect the country from Sir. When the bond scam happened, you may remember the things they said, but the person who should have been captured could not be caught by the police for 10 days and he went to court and obtained bail. This is the state of our country. The sugar scam is just one incident. The cost of living has skyrocketed because they are robbing from everything that they can.
හැම දෙයකින්ම මම හොරා කරන නිසායි කියන එක මතක තියාගන්න. ගෝඨාභය මහත්තයාගේ දරුවෝ ජීවත් වෙන්නේ ලොස් ඇන්ජලිස් වල.
Gotabe's children are living in Los Angeles. Basil's children are also living there. After the next election, these two people also hope to go there to Los Angeles. We can only hope that they would let the country be in one piece so that our children have a place to live. Instead of giving lands to the farmers, the lands are being provided to racketeers. They are trying to make the farmers slaves in the country. We must salvage our country from the grip of the Rajapaksas. We must launch an operation for this.
මේ රට ගලව ගැනීමේ මෙහෙයුම අපි ආරම්භ කළා ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්න ඕනේ කියන එක අපි ඔබතුමාලාට අවධාරණය කරනවා මිත්‍රවරුනි. සෞඛ්‍ය ශාස්ත්‍රය අඩපණ වෙලා අධ්‍යාපන ශාස්ත්‍රය අඩපණ වෙලා.
The health sector has collapsed. The education sector has collapsed. The school students are helpless. The infants and the mothers have lost their rights. I am urging all of you, be prepared for a massive exercise to heal the sorrows of the public. Join us to go to the street and to protect the general public. The Samagi Jana Balavegaya will provide leadership to this massive struggle of the people. We will sacrifice our lives to protect the lives of the general public.
අපි අපේ ජීවිත උනත් පරිත්‍යාග කරන්නට ලෑස්ති කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න කැමතියි.
Bring you some of the views expressed by Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca at the first anniversary of the Samagi Jana Balavegaya held at the Hyde Park grounds in Colombo this afternoon.
The epilogue.
මේගොල්ලෝ හැමදාමත් කරේ වර්තමානයේ කරන්න උත්සාහ කරන්නේ.
What they have always done and what they are doing right now is improving their lives, not yours. People can barely afford 3 meals. You live difficult lives. They issue gazettes and claim that people are not starving. They are saying that 6.9 million people are not starving. If you want to develop the nation, work with a single mind frame. Use your brains. Give skilled people opportunities. Get close to talented people. I feel bad for the president. How can he uplift the country with imbeciles around him? His vision is not implemented.
The epilogue.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight. But before we go, wild elephants encroaching into villages have become a common incident as of late. However, how would you feel if you were to face a situation like this? This is a clip that is being shared on social media. For the News First team, I'm Dasnia Thada, along with our interpreter tonight, Brian De Cruz. Good night.
Ini